Hello everyone, peace and blessings. It's Suraya Sara here and welcome to the Mindful Soul Academy Masterclass series. And today we have Shabana Yusuf, who is from the Promising Muslima website, www.promisingmuslima.com. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely
Yes,
right.
beautiful, beautiful. And I'm going to give you a quick background on Shabana before we get cracking on this topic. It's a really good one. I actually like this one. So just a quick background on Shabana. She is an active Muslima on a mission to inspire other Muslim women to stay healthy, to stay healthy and to remind them as a woman that we have the right to enjoy the benefits of a healthy body and mind whilst taking care of our responsibilities. We have no excuses because Islam doesn't give us one. That's really what it is, right? Right down to that. There is no excuses about keeping ourselves healthy. So today's title of the talk, it's really straight in your face, and I like it. It's really, I think it goes straight down to the whole no excuses thing. Today's topic is women, you have no excuse. So Shabana, let's get started. Let's talk about a little bit about the whole aspect of being healthy.
Thank you, Suraya, for having me, and Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Obviously, as Suraya has already explained, I am on a mission to inspire women, particularly Muslim women. I would say Muslim women because they are bound by various cultures, various inhibitions on themselves and cultural practices which are created by themselves, which has nothing to do with our religion and which keeps holding them back from following a healthy lifestyle, which is really surprising to me because according to our religion, I mean, our body is a gift. It's actually a trust given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are supposed to take care of it and not misuse it. It's beautiful because Allah has put this restriction on us, and He has made us accountable on the day of judgment. Our body, which we have full control of it right now in this world, we can treat it the way we want to, feed the way we want to, take it everywhere, not give enough rest. And because of all this, we are putting our body into all these afflictions like laziness and tiredness and different types of diseases, illnesses and pains, obesity. All this we are going to be accountable for. Our body is going to testify against us on the day of judgment. So Allah has given us this. This is our obligation to take care of our health and our body and not misuse it. So the question is, why does Allah want our health? Why does He want us to stay healthy? Allah doesn't get anything from us, from our health. He is Al-Ghani. He doesn't need anything. He wants to keep us healthy only so that we can benefit ourselves in this world and the hereafter. So when we are taking care of our body in this world, we are improving our relationships within ourselves, not only within ourselves, but everything around us. That's our family, our spouse, our children, home, our work, and our deen. We are able to take care of our daily responsibilities properly and effectively. Not only that, we are able to perform better as true believers in the sense like improving our worship, improving our salah and all the other forms of worship. And that way we come closer to Allah. When we are healthy, it has a direct relationship on how we perform as worshippers, how our worship is. And that brings us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah wants us to stay healthy because He says in the Quran, in a hadith it is said, eat what is lawful and what is healthy and do not follow the footsteps of the shaitan. Now shaitan has got this one thing of tricking us, eating us, making us eat unhealthy so that, that affects our health and that directly affects our worship, and that takes us away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Can I ask a question? Hold on, before you keep going, we can ask a question about we're talking about shaitan and speaking about eating the things that aren't healthy. I think also to add to that there's also the addiction part of it as well, where it becomes unhealthy and we become more mindless as we eat, and then that becomes the addiction part of it, and that's where we completely lose the whole part of the eating aspect of what we're taught that we're supposed to be eating.
The more difficult it keeps getting for us, basically Allah doesn't want to lose us to the shaitan. This is so beautiful. I just read this somewhere. I mean, he wants us to stay healthy so that we can benefit in this world and in the hereafter. And Jannah is our goal. And if that becomes our goal, that actually becomes an ongoing motivation, because that's a permanent destination. So if we keep that in mind, it is going to become easier for us to stay healthy and do everything which will improve our health.
All right, so Shabana, you were talking about what people are a bit confused about, the understanding around exercise and Islam and what we're supposed to be doing and what we should be doing. What are some of the excuses that you have heard that don't hold any validity?
First of all, the main reason is that they don't give their health as much importance as the other things in their life, and they fail to recognize the fact that it's their health which is directly related to perform their responsibility, daily responsibilities. Mm-hmm. That's the main. If they could understand the importance of health, right? And I think everything boils down to one thing, that we don't have enough discussion about this sunnah in our daily life, just like the other sunnahs of our deen. So it becomes easier for them to say that they don't have time, they are full-time mothers or full-time have got a job, and they've got a lot of responsibilities, and like there are families where we have joint families where the wives are living with their husband's parents, and it becomes more difficult for them, because obviously maybe she knows that it is important, but it is not considered as important by the elders, and she is compelled to live her life the way she is expected to.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
so there's a bit of cultural misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding, I would say ignorance.
Ignorance is probably a better word for it. And you make a really good point, because I think that a lot of ladies who are in that situation where they might be working, they might have people that disagree that you should spend time on helping yourself and fixing yourself up, especially after you have children. Sometimes you get a bit caught up looking after the kids, and then you don't care for yourself because you're caring for others. But then when you care so much for others and you forget about yourself, then you're not able to serve people the best way that you can. Basically your cup is empty and you have nothing more to give, because you're burnt out, you're tired, you're fatigued because you haven't cared for yourself. So it's all like this domino effect. And it all comes down to your health when you don't look after it and you don't put enough attention on yourself. And I'm not saying being selfish and taking all that time. Like, being healthy doesn't necessarily mean you have to exercise and be at the gym. People do it at home. People can go for a walk with the kids. There's so many things I'm sure you're going to touch on a bit later on, but I'm sure you've heard every single excuse in the line of work that you do.
Absolutely. Right.
Beautiful. So you were talking about the why behind staying healthy, and we're talking about being Jannah focused, and why we need to be healthy, because when we get to answering for ourselves, our body is going to talk to what we've done to ourselves.
We have no control over our body on the day of judgment. Absolutely. And Allah has shown us how we are supposed to lead our life in a healthy manner. That's through the sunnah of our Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He showed us how to eat. He showed us how to sleep, when to sleep. He showed us the physical activities he used to participate in. I mean, I was amazed by the fact that after knowing that sports was the sunnah of our Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he encouraged sports for both men and women, not just men. Yeah. He used to engage in sports like archery, swimming, running, horse riding, wrestling. He used to organize sports and prizes. I never knew all these stuff. When I started to know more about my religion on the health side, I wanted to know more. How does health play an important role in our religion? So that was really, really inspiring for me. And amazing, in a hadith, he used to race with his wives.
Yes, that's what I remember reading that hadith actually, how he would have like little races with them. And that was a beautiful thing because it also showed his playfulness as well.
Absolutely. And so much importance they used to give. They used to talk about the importance of sports in their life. I mean, it's amazing. So I want to see where are we going wrong? I mean, why do we as Muslims don't form a healthier group in the society? In fact, we are the unhealthiest group in the society. I mean, according to the recent studies in UK, it's amazing. It's really it's less than 1 in 5 Muslim women exercise less than once a week.
Wow.
I mean, that's amazing. After all, what our religion says about health. Forget about UK. This is a multicultural society. Look at the Muslim countries, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait. Obesity is a growing problem in the population, Muslim population, especially women. So we need to address these issues. In fact, I have done a survey online just recently involving Muslim women aged between 16 and 64, and the results were amazing. I mean, more than 60% of them are overweight. They are finding problems keeping themselves healthy. There are various cultural issues around them, social issues around them, which all needs to be addressed very, very seriously.
When you say about the biggest issue, obviously you're saying it's obesity, and you said about exercise. And the reality is, to lose weight, you need those two. You need to get your food properly, like in order, and you need to have movement. That's the basis of getting back on track. When you did your survey, what were the results with those two, and comparing to, because you said that they were for Muslim women, comparing to like the Western country results?
Right. The results were like, first, they don't have enough time. First of all, they don't as mothers or as full-time workers, whatever. Secondly, they don't have enough gyms. Muslim, like women, only gyms around them. Either they are not present or they are very expensive. They cannot afford them. And also about the clothing, about their modesty, which does play a very important role in our religion. But I don't think that as an excuse, because there are so many brands coming up. They have got proper clothing. Even if you don't have only women's gym, you can still go to those gyms, get properly dressed, just behave modestly and in your behavior and in your covering, in your clothing. And I think that you're good to go. I go to gym, I have no other choice because I do have a gym, but it doesn't have only women's gym. But I do go at the time, especially when there's less crowded. I try to go that time. And then you are on. I mean, you're just focusing on what you want to do. I mean,
you're not really there to socialize. Really, you're there to focus on yourself and
socialize, or or hang around.
And you know what? And you made a good point about, like, you're saying about the gyms, and you're saying about the outfit, and you're saying about feeling uncomfortable and stuff. To be honest, like we're in the age, like the technology age, where we've got the internet, we've got YouTube, we've got the ability to actually have these exercises that you can do at home in front of your television without, like, just using your body weight, without even having to go to the gym. And like when I had little kids, that's what my husband and I did. Like, we were in front of the TV, jumping up and down, doing all the exercises.
There's some simple things which keep you from going out. Your kids are there, your work at home is there, your presence is needed. You can always just take a 6 foot by 6 foot space in your living room and the TV, internet, and you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's it. And that's the most amazing thing. And you can always, there are a lot of online PTs, and I know that if people can contact you as well, I know you have like a workout program. And you also have a book. What was your book again? It was about
how to control your food cravings.
Yes, and that's a big one. That's a big one, and that's on the Promising Muslima website, and that's on sale there, I believe. And those are the two things that we're talking about: was the food intake and the exercise. Those are the two things.
Yeah, major one is the food intake.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's 80%. Is 80% food?
Exactly. It's 80 and 20. So even if you're exercising the whole day and then you're not eating properly, you're just reversing it. Even it's not working.
Yeah. You're just
Exactly.
equaling it out. It's not doing anything.
Yeah, I love to eat too.
I know, that's the problem. I love to eat too, and food is so beautiful. I was talking to my girlfriend, I was like going, but I love food so much. What should I do? But you know, these are the things I've always learned that you should have a cheat day at least, so you can enjoy some of the food.
You cannot go on and on and on and not treat yourself. Treating yourself is one of the most important part of keeping you going. Yeah, like once a week you can. I mean, if you've been working the whole week, I mean, one day will not make a difference, right? That's the thing. And in my book of about controlling cravings, you have got a recipe over there which gives you an option of preparing your sweet and the dessert, which with healthier options. I mean, it's amazing. You still have those cakes and those pastries. I mean, preparing them with healthier options, you can still enjoy your dessert.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree with you, because I think people aren't aware of all these other options. And the beautiful thing about, like I said, about the internet now, like there's so many videos out there, especially on your Facebook feeds. All you need to do is like those pages that give you like really good healthy food, and a lot of them are fast to make and easy to find. Like the ingredients are easy to find. So I just don't think that that's an excuse. But I do feel that in today's society is that because we're a lot more digital, we're on our phones, we become lazy. And that's probably one of the downfalls of our generation, is that everything becomes comfortable. And then we just, we'll do it later, but when it comes to like instant gratification, like people want instant results. And unfortunately, when you're doing this, you don't get that. And you actually have to work for it. And the only way that I can, and I think that's probably a psychological thing as well. And you need to get your head right in that sense, and know that, I think it's more gratifying to actually see the results when you work hard, because it's a lot more.
Like Allah says, Allah's help comes with your effort, and then Allah's help. Allah will not help you with you just sitting on the couch. You have to move, and then you'll see the results. Like when you move, you have to make that first step, and then it is difficult, but it only gets easier when you are consistent, and you will see the results.
Yeah, I love that. Because like the thing that I hear a lot is that, especially for the women that I help, they always bring up the fact that people advise them to be patient, to sabar, right? And I was like, yes, you can be patient, but you need to do the work first, and then you can be patient. Do the work first. Yeah.
You have to acknowledge the fact that it is not easy. It is going to be difficult, but with your efforts, even if it's a little bit of effort every day, it is only going to make it easier for you for tomorrow. Yeah. I mean, look at today and you not doing anything for the next 1 month. You're still there, or even you're going to be worse. Yeah. Right? So, if you take even little steps, you still be much better than what you are today.
Yes, exactly. You'll be way ahead from where you were 1 month ago. And, you touched on just now about how your body will answer for you, and, you won't have any control over that. And that brings me back to this conversation I had about your body, and how our generation doesn't value our body as we should value it. Because when we were born, our heart started beating for us, our lungs were breathing for us, our skin grew, our eyes saw for us. Like, we never asked for that to happen, but it has served us for decades. It has served us without questioning anything, and all we do is abuse our body, and we don't look after it, and there's no love for the body that has been serving us. And every time our body comes up with something like it's really screaming at us to focus on it, to look after it, like, your knees hurt. Why does it hurt? Are you carrying too much? Yeah, it's telling you.
Yeah, it's not like today you're doing day and tomorrow you're bedridden. It's not that. It has taken us some time. You've been neglecting it for a long time. It just didn't happen in one day. So the body was giving you all these signs, and you kept on neglecting it.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right, and that's exactly right, and I think that was a bit of a mindset shift for me, because we always complain that, you know, we're a bit chubby here, we're a bit chubby there, we're a bit overweight, and, you know, I'm not pretty, I'm not this, I'm not that, and these are like all body image issues, but we always forget about the body itself, like what has been carrying us. And I always say you need to love it first before you can make any changes to it. You need to just love whatever mess that you're in and just say, I hear you, I feel you, and, like, you know, we need to be able to love this. Like, I'm not saying be positive about being overweight, because being overweight does not serve us as human beings, because we get tired. It's not how we should be operating as human beings.
We were not supposed to be fat and lazy and sick. We were supposed to be lean and healthy.
And active.
Everybody has that opportunity. It's just a matter of taking it. The sooner the better.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. But making that first step, and I think for me that was the hardest, was like, it's so comfortable just to be comfortable, right? But like when I had that shift in my head, and I'm just thinking about, you think about your body working for you so hard for all those years, and you never thanked it and you never appreciated it. Like the moment you start to appreciate it, you want to do better for it. And it's a bit of a mind shift in that sense, and thanking God for what he's given us, and thanking him for allowing us to live, like just to be thankful, be in gratitude. Yeah.
So and one of the hadiths says is being grateful is a way of taking care of your body, is a way of thanking Allah for the body, you know, for this gift. That's
exactly. That's beautiful. I love that. I really, really love that one, because that's what it is. And I don't think we talk enough about that one, because we're all focused about what's right and what's wrong all the time, and pointing out other people's problems, rather than looking in ourselves and how we can help ourselves to be better.
Exactly. So where do we actually start? You know, Suraya, I've been raised in a Muslim family, but I've heard of different sunnahs like praying on time, fasting. I never grew up listening to don't eat so much, don't overeat, you know, have you exercised today? Did you go for a run today? I mean, I never heard that your body is not yours. I never heard that I never grew up hearing that. Yeah. So the problem is we are not discussing this within our families. And because of that, women are suffering. Children are suffering. Women are suffering. Especially, I want to point out the women. There are women who are living in a joint family. They're running around the whole day. Okay. And they're giving everything, their time, their body, everything in the household, are not realizing the fact that how important her health is to perform those responsibilities better. In fact, if she does take out some time for herself, she is questioned, she's criticized, okay, and she feels guilty. She feels guilty for that, for taking care of herself, to giving her time to herself. So what I want to say, if these issues, if these hadiths, if these narrations which are given us in our books, if these are discussed openly with all the family members, even the elders and the young, if these are discussed, taken as seriously as the other sunnahs, she will not feel guilty, you know. She will not feel guilty taking care of her health. This is so important.
Yeah, and I think it's so important when you put that ahead of, like, I understand, like in a cultural sense, especially if you're in a joint family, there's a hierarchy going on in the house, and I totally understand that. And it's very hard because the hierarchy dictates what happens down below, and it can be very difficult for women to really take that time away. And I think my suggestion to be on the healthy side, right, it would be just start in your bedroom, because everybody has a room or has a little space, and YouTube is wonderful. If you have no money, YouTube is wonderful to find
internet connection.
Yeah, and I think that would be the most basic to start yourself with. And like you said, small steps, and doing it consistently, and then go from there. And you'll see, because I can guarantee you, like I was, you know, my husband and I did it in wintertime. We couldn't go anywhere. My baby, I had like a little baby. He was like a few months old. I couldn't take him out and push him. I've got like bush tracks around me. I can't push him.
With the pushchair and going for a fight.
Yeah, that's it. Now he's too big for me to push in a pushchair. But we were like in the, you know, lounge room doing Shaun T's workout, and husband and wife jumping up and down. I was like, I hope the people downstairs don't hear me. You know, but like we could see, we did it consistently, and we saw the progress. We did measurements and we weighed ourselves, and we do it every 2 weeks, and you would be amazed to see, like, in 2 weeks what you could achieve. And I think it's like a 90-day program, but it was amazing.
Yeah, it's like a whole family approach. I mean, you can't do it yourself. It's a whole family approach. That's what I'm saying. And say, for example, your mother-in-law, you know, I mean, men, especially men, I'm addressing them, do not behave there's no problem. I mean, acknowledge there is a problem going on, okay? And instead of just giving a blind eye and trying to be in good shoes of both your wife and your mother, I mean, do something about it. I mean, send them to a gym, send them to a swim together, let them have that bond together, you know. I don't blame the mother-in-law. Maybe just like we were not discussed all these things in our family, they might not have been knowing about all these facts and all these sunnahs and the importance of healthy lifestyle. You know, that's why they have got all these inhibitions and all this, you know, why and you know, all these problems which comes in.
Yeah.
So, like, men, just send them out. Just let your wife help your mother on the treadmill. Let them enjoy swimming together, you know. Let them improve that bond between them. They will have something better to do than to just stay within the four walls and stare at themselves or whatever, you know. Just change that thing. You need to,
if you want change, you need to make the change. It doesn't just happen. And I think that I'm seeing a big rise in our generation, that we're like, the women are really making a change, and the men are stepping up to help with that change. But this is not always the case. And it's not always the case, like you said. And I think it's really important to be educated in that sense, to be educated about what we should be doing to care for ourselves. And because, like, if you're not looking after yourself, who else is going to do it? Like, nobody's going to exercise your body for you. You can only do it yourself.
I'm talking about the family. I'm talking about the educated families. But I think education is not what the education we see. Is the education about our religion. That's more important. I'm
not talking about like doctors and stuff like that. I'm not talking about lawyers. I'm talking more about being educated about our rights and our rights of our own body as well.
Yeah. So she can, as a woman, she can go about freely in taking care of her health. Even the elders, they participate. It's very important for old people. When they are aging, it's more important for them to stay healthy. To take care of their health, to prevent falls and accidents and all sorts of problems which come with old age. They have to continue moving, you know. So we as their family members, we as daughter-in-laws and sons, we have to help them out too, you know, and just go about as a full together as a family. Even kids, you know, why do we need to celebrate an occasion with unhealthy foodstuffs?
Yeah.
Why do we have to do that? Why don't we organize some kind of a sports, like family sports or a football or a swim or a hike or a trekking with the whole family? Enjoy celebrate that occasion. I mean, don't take them out to fast food joints, like, you know, for the happy meals with just a toy to, you know, to bring that smile. There are many other ways to bring that smile to your child's face, you know.
Yeah.
Take them out register for vacations. I mean, I've seen all those camp vacations, you know, adventure vacations, all organized by these groups. They have got everything organized. Your accommodation, your activities, your food, everything is taken care of. Just enroll in that, go as a family together, enjoy the activities as a family, you know.
And I think it's so important to put the technology down, you know, put down the phones, put down the iPads, and just enjoy what is. And like, I mean, we just had school holidays here in Australia, in South Australia, for like 2 weeks. And because it's winter, because we live in an apartment. It's a bit hard for us to get out. And when the sun's out, like I'm like, let's go to the park. Let's go get this energy out. And it's an amazing thing to let them just run wild, run free, because these kids always have this energy in them. And if we just keep feeding them like food all the time and giving them the iPads and stuff, it's not, you're not really helping them. They need to, they're built to do that. Like the energy in them needs to come out.
Exactly.
So when we talk about like healthy foods, and children liking healthy foods, what is your advice in that sense in getting them involved?
Exactly. First of all, we should try to begin as early as possible. That's better. But even if you have not, make efforts. Bring in their friends. Bring in their friends for some kind of creative activities with fruits and vegetables. Let them enjoy the different like designs and cutting and then enjoy them having it, and then understanding and the benefits of these fruits and vegetables. And it is interesting if you look at it. It is very creative. There are activities we can do with children. Instead of taking them out just for fast foods and everything, take them out for trips or these holidays.
And
take them out.
I totally agree with you in that. And I think that one of the trends that I've seen, like we're talking about being present, and like I would say that sometimes I'm not present because I'm like my mind is running a million miles an hour. And I think that the more that you're present with yourself, your children, your family, your partner, your parents, you will start to see things fall into place, because you are more mindful of what's happening in front of you. You're more aware, you're more conscious about the decisions you make. And this also includes food. You're more mindful about what you're putting in your mouth. You're more mindful about what you say to people. And I'm not saying that you're going to be zen all the time. Like, I'm not saying that's what, we're humans. We're allowed to have emotions. We're allowed to go crazy once in a while, because that's what we do. But, but when you're able to be more present in your life, you'll see things, fall into place. And we need to put our phones down. We need to switch off the TV. And I think one of the things that we started to implement with my own family was to have no TV when it's dinner time. That for us.
Now we're not supposed to watch TV, and that becomes with mindless eating. You're watching TV, and then you could continue eating. You don't know how much and how you're eating.
Exactly. So you're just like, and you're watching something else. And it's better, you sit in front with your family and you have a discussion about stuff, about what's going on, about how you feel, what have you achieved. And that's a different conversation because you're more present. So,
And that's the opportunity to discuss food and everything, and sunnah and everything. And also, very important thing, when you're preparing your children in that particular manner, they are the ones who are going to come back to you when you don't follow it yourselves. So they become a type of a reminder for you.
Yes.
Because when we don't do something and then they remember, you didn't tell me to do that way, but you're doing it that way. So that's something really will keep you going.
They're very clever, aren't they?
They are.
All right. Was there anything else that you wanted to share with us? Because I think that you've given us some really good tips, and I think that I actually learned a bit about what the Sunnah says about our bodies and how we should be treating it. Because for me, I did not know that it was that important.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So I'd like to point out, two more points. About YouTube.
Yeah.
I was telling you about my religion so much. It was not like I was opening up the Quran and trying to read the translation, and it's all from the YouTube, from all these lovely speakers, that I came to know so much about my religion. I came so close to my religion, and also about all different aspects of religion. So I think there should be more videos done by these well-known speakers on health, because we don't find many. I literally have to type in health as per Islam. Is there any YouTube video done by any scholar or any speaker? There will be very few of them. But if you talk about my favorites, Sheikh Numan Ali Khan and Sheikh Yasir Qadi and Sheikh Mufti Menk, Sheikh Umar Salman. Then these are the people who listen to, their families actually sit with the children, showing them these videos. So I would really request that these scholars and these speakers would come up with more videos on health issues, on the Sunnah of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, like in the mosques, even in the khutbahs, Friday khutbah, they should include these topics. I don't know about all the schools, but definitely Islamic schools, definitely Sunday schools, they should include these sunnahs as the part of the curriculum. So the children are getting prepared right from a very young age. And I believe that when these teachings and when these directions are given from recognized institutions and people, it's taken more seriously. It comes in the homes, and they're taken more seriously by parents and the family as a whole.
So spreading the word early, and then just getting it out there, and allowing it to just grow from there.
Yes, not just us as individuals, as parents, but also the whole society. I mean, we live in a multicultural society. In UK, Islam is the second largest religion, and Muslims hold a vast majority of population. How many gyms do you find which are only for women? How many gyms do you have which have only for Muslims, for women activities? There are very few. Believe me, there are very, very few. Wow. So why don't we take efforts, like for example, in the mosque, you're raising charities like for different causes. Make this one of your important cause. If you don't have a gym in your locality, raise charity for your gym for only Muslim, for only women.
Yeah.
Raise charity for this. Make these things available for your women.
Wow.
We have to make changes. If we are not showing importance, how is the society going to give us what we don't want? We have to create the demand. We have not done that.
Yeah, because we're not putting enough importance on it.
Enough important. That's why these things don't exist in the society. That's why we're not getting help from the larger institutions and organizations who are taking care of the health of the society as a whole, and not giving us our space, taking care of our requirements, of our environment as Muslim women.
I love that. And I think it's also important to check with your local organizations and see if they have some, because I know it's very hard over here as well to find that. I think there might be 2 here in South Australia that just serve women. So there's not that many. But I know the local Muslim organisation does classes for women. But it's once a week. So, you still need to...
That's what I'm saying. That's my main thing. How much importance are we as Muslims giving to our religion, so that it actually compels the society to change things for us, because we are their market too.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Awesome. So do you have something else that you wanted to share?
I think I've covered. I think more, the thing is, one more thing, where we are actually going wrong, we are not taking care of our health. We are listening to our doctors more than we are listening to our religion. For example, in the Quran, it says there's a piece of flesh in our body. If we keep that fine, right, the whole body is working properly, right? And that piece of flesh is a heart. This is absolutely in the hadith. And the science says the same thing. Your heart is the most important part of your body. If you keep it working properly, the other organs will also work properly. And it tells us to stay away from fatty food, to sleep properly, to exercise regularly, to remove stress from your life, And what does the Sunnah tell us? Eat properly, eat healthy, sleep properly. Exercise is such an important part of our religion. Smile is the Sunnah of our religion, of our Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. To be grateful, so we can stay happy. All these things, they keep our heart healthy. So why don't we listen to the Sunnah rather than wait for our body to deteriorate and then reach the doctors, and the doctors telling us the same thing to do what we were told hundreds of years ago.
Exactly. Everything was already there. And you're talking about this exercise and stuff like that. Back in the day, it wasn't particularly exercise per se, because they were always very active, because they didn't have what we have today to make us lazy. They would have to walk far places. Yeah,
but regular walking and sports and physical activities is there in the Sunnah for Rasulullah.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, exactly. So sometimes we need to just stop and reset, because we get so caught up in stuff. And like I would say that I've had to stop and reset a few times, and it's okay for that. Like I think people feel like a sense of failure, and you know, when things don't work out their way, or maybe they got injured and they, you know, they fell off the wagon. And I think, you know, it's really important to address that as well, because like when you fall off the wagon, people kind of get discouraged, and I get that. I get that, because, you know, it's like, oh, here we go again. I would probably say to be more kind on yourself, and like you've fallen off, you don't have to wait for the next Monday or the next 1st of the month or the 1st of January. Just jump on the next day. You know, you fell off the wagon, fine.
Yes, I had a knee injury recently. I was off running for 2 months, and it was so painful. It was really hard. But then, alhamdulillah, I am back on track, because you just can't get back on it on one day. It takes time. So just have to be patient and just believe that it is going to happen with your efforts. So just don't give up. Just do whatever you can, and you will improve.
So when you were injured, did you do something that was like that wasn't so intense for exercise?
I was doing my weights, like whatever I could do. I was using my hands for weights. I was doing my core exercises. I was doing whatever stretching I could do. Although I was not allowed to run at all, but every other thing what I could do. Possibly. I was showing up in the gym anyway, so I was doing something better than, like, you know, it was nothing. Yeah.
So there are other options, like, you know, if you've injured yourself, there's other things that you can do. And and that's really important. And you're talking about just being consistent. That's really a key thing to it. And, you know, if you've been consistent for a month, like I would say, you know, you would see a difference. And it's also about forming a habit as well, which is a whole nother thing, is about to being consistent and forming a habit where it becomes like you've just rolled out of bed and you've brushed your teeth. You want it to become a habit.
Yes, and when it becomes your habit, you don't have to make any efforts to do it. You know, you just do it. You know, just a message to all the women out there that you are important, not only for anybody else around you, or for yourself, for our religion, for Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. You are very, very important. So just don't feel guilty in taking care of yourself. Just go for it. You know, it's just about educating yourself and others around you, and not feeling guilty of what you're doing.
Yeah, get rid of that guilt. You deserve it.
Yeah. And so that's it.
Alhamdulillah. All right. I really appreciate you coming on. So once again, the website is www.promisingmuslima.com. And you do have Facebook on there. I think there's a link on the page, and you have I was just looking at it just now. You have 2 products. You have a 12-week weight loss plan on there, and you also have a book called Control Your Food Cravings. So you've covered the bases there as to just to kickstart your healthy eating goals and your exercise goals, which is beautiful. And and they're not expensive either. They're quite cheap.
Absolutely. And then there is a home workout plan. I've started working on it. There's a step workout there for beginners, which you can start with that. And there are many various blogs which will give you a lot of insight about your health, and, you know, like how to change your life. So just simply make some changes before even you start counting calories in terms of consumption and in terms of exercising. Just few simple changes in your lifestyle will kickstart your weight loss journey or your healthy journey.
Yeah. And you know what, when you kickstart and you see a difference, like if you're not using, like, I find that scales are very detrimental to my own mental health. So I use my genes as a means to measuring, and I feel much happier that way. And
some people are, yeah. You shouldn't actually go by the scales, you know. Yeah, absolutely. Because when you are on a healthy lifestyle, on a journey to a healthy self, you might not see much changes in your weight, you know, because you're replacing your fat tissues with your muscle tissues, but you're definitely getting in shape. Your clothes are fitting better. You're feeling more. You're feeling more healthier. So you're sleeping better.
Yes, exactly, and that's how I can tell that I'm on track. And I was telling my husband I want to get rid of those scales. They give me mental health issues. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It has been wonderful, and I will hope that people will see you and get inspired, because I find your posts on Facebook inspiring, so they can follow you on Facebook as well, watching
And
you
also
exercise. And YouTube. Yes.
I got very small, very inspiring videos over there, and which also covers my journey and everything. So we just enjoy those videos, I mean, and just get inspired and just become inspiration for others.
Exactly, and that's all we can do. That's the best that we can do for our purpose on this earth, is to inspire others so that they can live a better life.
Yes, that's it.
All right,
Thank you so
everyone.
much for having me.
Okay, peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Thank you.